Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our roundtable discussion. My name is Flovian Aiko Kristanto, and today I will be your moderator for today. And we will discussing about interesting topic. Might be a little bit controversial, but it is very interesting to discuss. And before we begin, I would like to introduce to our participant for today. This is Rafael Tansil, Rara Wiritanaya, and also Anabelle Kirana. And today, we will discuss about topics mandatory bachelor theses are not always relevant for every undergraduate student. This topic becomes important to discuss because students have different career goals, interests, and learning styles. But in the other hand, it can also help students to develop critical thinking and develop research skills. So there's people that thinks bachelor thesis is still relevant, and there's also some people that also think that bachelor thesis is not really relevant for students. So during the discussion, we will explore different perspectives about this topic, and we encourage for everyone here to participate. You can freely express your thoughts about this topic. Okay, so we're going to moving on into the first question. So, what do you think, guys, about why university still make bachelor thesis as a mandatory?
Can I go first?
Yes, of course.
Basically, it is important not only to the students but also to the university or the campus. Maybe the campus did it because, as we know, we have accreditation system in our campus that maintains on A, B, C, or more than A, and they can maintain their grades without using mandatory thesis, without the bachelor thesis, or maybe they're self-published. And that's why I think it is important. And not only it is important to the university, it is also important to the students because, as we know, we are learning for around 4 years, 3.5 years or 4 years, and during that time we are trained with our critical thinking skills and academic skills. So if we train for like 4 years, study for like 4 years, why we never use it? That is
That's one of interesting perspective from Rafael. So you say that bachelor thesis is actually helping the university to maintain their accreditation, and it also can be useful for students because
it helps them to prove their skills.
Right. It helps them to prove their skills, especially on the research field, right?
Yes.
But what do you guys think about Rafael says?
Okay, for me, maybe Rafael it's only see by the university perspective, but not the student perspective. Because for me, from then and now, bachelor thesis it's more like formalities for now. It's because many students they can get a job without that bachelor thingy. So I mean like that's not relevant. I mean not relevant. It's like for maybe it's like for our degrees, like our what is it called, like communication science and
Sociology.
sociology. No, I mean like sociology is more relevant for like bachelor thesis because they need to research something for their job maybe. Yeah. But if it's for communication science like us, we more comfortable with projectical things like that.
Yeah. What do you think about?
I think I agree with Anabelle because you say like skill or like skill with bachelor thesis, but for me, like skill you can get from anything, because not the other person we have a passion with academic. For example, as we are communication science and we can more than thesis because maybe we can make a movie, make a clip, make advertising like agency, blah blah blah. It's more like relevant for us as a communication science like that because skill we can get from everything everywhere.
Yes, I do agree with that, but as you say before, that you can get skills from anywhere, like you can, and you can prove it with anything, like you can do an advertisement, you can make an agency, you can make a clip, you can make a content, you can do a lot of things that's relevant to our career or relevant to our studies, which is communication. I do agree with that, but what I say is that we need to prove our critical thinking skills with academic skills, which can be more efficient if we apply it to bachelor thesis. That is my point.
Yeah, but I think that's only theoretic, not practical, because critical thinking not just only theoretic. Yeah. That's my opinion.
Okay, so this is actually a really interesting topic and discussion we have now because Rafael said that it is we need to prove our skills, our critical thinking skills, our research skills through bachelor thesis. But on the other hand, Rara and Anabelle said that actually those skills can we achieve from our experience, maybe from any other learning methods or maybe some projects through the university. He say internship like that. It's actually very interesting because I think there's a lot of way that we can learn about critical thinking skills. Especially, it's not only it is help you gain much more perspective because they say that we can learn it from experience, but he said that we need to prove it. I think it's like it's like connected with each other. It's something like that for me, and it is actually very interesting. But I want to know what you guys think. Like, is there any major that really needs to prove? I mean, like, do you think a bachelor thesis is like necessary for every major, or is there any specific major that needs a bachelor thesis?
Specific, not major need bachelor thesis. I think.
So, so you think that there's no specific major that needs bachelor thesis as a mandatory? Like,
I think it's for sociologists. It's more like they need to do that bachelor thesis because they studied about social rights, and they need to more have a field study or something like. They study on the
research your dunia.
And then yeah, that's relevant for sociologists because they need to research, they need that research skill.
For example, again, science learning about biology, and then what is called technique,
Industrial technique.
yeah, something like that. They are maybe they are near the bachelor thesis because they are learning about something like so crucial about human body, like a biology, something like that. And the technique, they are learn about machine, automatical. Is that something research to do?
Oh wait. Can I ask?
And
Oh.
to prove my point that some need mandatory thesis.
Not like that. I mean, like not every major need a bachelor thesis. Yeah. And your opinion, all major need bachelor thesis because that approve for critical thinking for something. But I think critical thinking.
Well, let's just agree to disagree then. Yeah. Because I do think all major need to do mandatory bachelor thesis. Why? And again, we need to prove that we are ready logically to do our job. And then the second reason is that we go to the university to study, not to do what do you call it? Job training. Yes, it is a university place for studies, not only for job training. Which is why we need to learn. We need to practice. Yeah, we need to study and we need to prove it academically that we are ready. I am logically ready to do my job. This is a proof I can do this. I can think like this.
But you say prove something like critical thinking, right? But if that's a bachelor thesis made if by AI or what you call it, jockey. That is jockey. Because that is like formality, right?
Then it is the human problem, the student's problem, not the system problem. Why? The system already told us that don't do this with AI, don't do jockey, don't do a thesis jockey. It won't do any benefit for you other than make you have a higher score. It's only benefit you on the paper. It will never do anything good for you in the long term. That is why the university already told us. They already told us from the beginning, from the early semester, from our freshman year. They only told us not to use AI to do our research like that. So that's why it is more of a human problem rather than system problem.
But it's not relevant for now. Because why you're not do something like practical?
Internship.
Yeah, internship or project, the last project. That's something important. The last project because that we can prove you can do something like that. That something any proof you can do something like that.
You can prove it non-academically, but in the university context, it is the academic context. So you make your academic thesis, you think about your topics, you think about your surroundings, then so basically the university has told us to to look at our surrounding and to see it in academic way. They help us to think logically. Like, you see some topic, yeah, you see some phenomenon, you see some social phenomenon, and you don't think it's like, oh, she's doing that, he's doing that company is doing that. But you can also, but if you think it logically, you can think of why she doing that, who is she doing that to, like that.
Oh,
So it helps you to think more critically. It helps you think more logically.
alright, okay. So Rafael says that bachelor thesis is like the parameter that someone can prove something that is he or she can, you know, go on more professional works. But what do you guys think if he says that bachelor theses are like, you know, the parameter of I think the student is capable enough to, you know, graduate. So what do you guys think? What's the parameter of if it's not using the bachelor thesis? Maybe from Anabelle, is there any thoughts?
You mean the alternative ways?
Yeah, I mean like the parameters, because from the bachelor thesis, he says that we can see how students, you know, like how critical thinking how much critical thinking they have from the bachelor thesis, like what's the parameter of like some students can get graduate if it's not from bachelor thesis.
If it's not from bachelor thesis, maybe we can do like final project. But what's the project? Project is maybe it's from communication and science. It's more like we can get the project like short movie, short final movies, or maybe podcast something, or project based for the graduate system.
And talk about final project, we can learn, we can do something with a client, with a company from campus or university, choose something like that, or a company from our relation. That is, but maybe before with a parameter like that, I want to say sadly for bachelor degrees, the lecture they not some like they not some kind enough with a student, because when we what is call it no yes about reporting our project per what do you call it when we call with the proposal and we have revision, yeah, something like that. But later not capable. Like,
You know, like making appointment with the lecturer.
That's so I don't know what to say.
You have to reach out the lecturer.
Yeah, it sadly like because this is make a student that's late for graduation. I don't know what I say. I feel like that.
But wait, because that's kind of risky to say that lecturers are not willing to, you know, make an appointment with their student. It's kind of risky to say that because not every lecturers are like that. But I think, but I might not agree with you if it's like becoming like another burden that you need to carry when you have a lot of things that you need to write on. But yeah, but not every lecturer are like that. It's kind of risky if you say it like that.
A lot of our lecturers are actually really care about the students. They actually reach out for us.
I think yeah, but wait a minute. Oh. Next question.
Okay.
The next question.
Okay. But what do you guys think? Is it bachelor thesis will make some students, like get mental health issue or something? What do you guys? Maybe from your perspective first, because you're the one who, like supports the mandatory bachelor thesis.
I mean, if we think about the real issues, then it has something to do with our support system. It is have something to do with our friends, or maybe our friend circle, from our family. It is not completely irrelevant. I'm not saying it's not relevant, but it's not completely irrelevant to the fact that a lot of students that doing the bachelor thesis have mental issues, but a lot of them actually get it from their surroundings, like from friends that are not supportive enough, from the parents that or family that is like pressure them to graduate faster. Like, when are you gonna finish that thesis of yours? Like, why are you taking it so long? It is more of the family and the support system problem for me.
What do you think?
Mental health issue. That's a bachelor thesis. It's not one and only, but one of one of the so but bachelor thesis of mental health student. Like for example, problem with lecture, problem with economic, family, problem with maybe ourselves. That's all of this because of bachelor thesis. I don't know. Maybe that's something shock with some student like that about the bachelor thesis because you have opinion.
Okay, I'm not gonna talk about that support system, but I'm gonna talk about each student's patient, because each student, they have a different path, like you said earlier. Like they can do the creativity or something, projectical, technical, and something, and it's not about the support system for them, but it's about his patient.
Yeah.
They all have a patient, and for the thesis, it's not their patients. That. So it's not about the support. That's for me.
That some students can stop their passion just because bachelor thesis. They think oh my god, my bachelor thesis is not ready enough. My bachelor thesis is so hard. My bachelor thesis blah 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 blah. And what is called? And if the final task is not ready enough, and they are go back in a bachelor thesis.
They need to start over.
Yeah, they just start like that. It's so hard for a student like mental issues like that.
Oh, okay, alright. Okay. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay, I think that's a lot of interesting things that we have discussed. And thank you, Rara, Tansil, and also Anabelle for giving your opinion. And in conclusion, I think this topic is very controversial. It is very complicated. It has many layers on it, and it is not as simple as like yes or no. But we need to I think we need to think about it more. Like maybe university also needs give some students a different way that they can choose to, like for graduation. But it is a very interesting topic that we have already talked about. Okay, thank you for listening to our discussion. Thank you for joining us. See you.
Bye-bye.